I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio. This is Yaya Diamond, and we have an amazing, amazing show for you today. It's not only about authors, music, and all the other stuff that we go through, but Dream Chasers is always, always about going after your dreams. But there are just certain criteria that you have to adhere to when you go after your dreams, like estate planning and money and banking and all kinds of different things that are going to interject themselves into the picture. It's going to be one of those things where you cannot avoid it. And so since you can't avoid it, we're going to be talking about that today. We're with Don Kilam. We're with Chief Amir Zahir. We're with Jason. We're with Nolan. And I'm excited to have every single last one of these guys on the show today. And we're going to start with Don. What's up, man? How you doing?
All right, peace and love. Good to see you again, Yaya.
Oh, anytime, anytime. So, Don, I know there might be some people out there, maybe somewhere deep, deep, deep in the enchilada of no internet that don't know you. Tell everybody about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Don Kilam. I'm from St. Louis. I began my journey in the public really under a bridge. I was homeless, and I came into the light of wisdom and information. It's a very broad area, and it's a rabbit hole that just never ending. But to sum it all up, I teach business credit, personal credit, and estate planning. Once you start creating cash flow and becoming wealthy, we teach you step by step, and then how to actually learn how to protect those assets, whether it be through a church, your tribe, or just a private organization. We teach you how to create your own government.
That's essential. Chief Amir Zahir, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm Chief Amir Zahir. I came into this through the military. I am a combat vet. I came into this in 2004, I believe. I started this journey on the more spiritual side first. And as I continue to awaken and understanding who I am, understand the power and everything that I had within me, and then, my steps was ordered then. Just last year, I have the privilege to meet Don Kilam. We've been vibing out ever since. The just our interactions been great. He's been feeding me, I've been feeding him, and we had really joined, together to really take on the world. Just with Jason and Nolan, all of us, just really doing great. Like I said, I came into this knowledge just on the spiritual side first, and just really, just want to help transition people.
That's good. That's amazing. Amazing, Chief. Amazing. Jason, how do you pronounce your last name?
Mabe.
Mabe, because I was going to go for that Mabe. I was.
I answered to anything.
All right, Jason, tell us about yourself.
I got started at a young age. My dad owned his own contracting company, and I started probably working with him when I was about 8 years old, and I always wanted to take over the business. And he ended up in 2006 having a heart attack, and I went from being an employee on Friday to being the boss on Monday, and he's in good health now still. So, but probably a year and a half ago, I learned that I just had a job. I didn't really own a business or really know how to run it. So I came across Don's information and stuff about a year and a half ago. Met Nolan not quite a year ago now, but close. And then I met Chief Amir 6 to 8 months ago too, and we've all just kind of been staying in touch with each other ever since. So we decided that we wanted to put something together for maybe to help everybody else at least start on some type of path and be able to take control of their lives and protect their assets for their future years.
Wow, that is amazing. Okay, good. Was Nolan? Someone already said your name. I was trying to keep it down, but I couldn't do it. So Nolan, tell us about yourself.
Well, I came into this a few years back. Pardon me. I was in the U.S. Navy, and some things were going on, and I had ended up in court for a few things, and the judges was saying stuff that he was talking to me in a certain way and talking to an attorney in a different way. So I started looking into this stuff a little bit deeper and finding that there's plenty of stuff out there that they're telling you about if you read the law, right? And I'm many things, but my last little stint in the Navy was an intelligence officer. So they did teach me how to do research, and they did teach me how to look for stuff. And what I found was kind of amazing, which, and it led me down this my own created yellow brick road to this guy called Don Kilam. And because I started looking at everybody else and calling themselves a guru. But when somebody like Don Kilam is talking to you and he's got stacks of cash sitting in front of him in his lap, right, you tend to pay a little bit more attention to this guy, and he's got the money right there in front of him. It's like, he's talking all this stuff that I hear all these gurus talking about, and all these gurus are sitting in their basement, right, on their third rundown crappy ass couch with holes in it, talking like, you need to buy my book because I'm a player. It's like, you ain't no player with a freaking holy couch. What are you taking that thing to church? Come on, how holy is that thing? Oh Jesus! So, Don Kalam's the real deal, because you start reading his stuff, you start doing his stuff, and lo and behold, how about that? That stuff actually works, right? So, and then I applied the stuff that I knew and applied it through Don Kalam's work, and it's just working for me, right? And speaking of your dream chasers, we're all in this little planet to have fun, to chase our dreams, to do what we want to do rather than what we're told to do, right? So I came into this because I like the truth, and I know that it hurts a lot of people, but I don't think you can be happy without the truth. It doesn't work that way, and that's why I'm in it.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Especially the holy couch thing. That was, yeah. So, Don, everybody's talking about your book, and everybody's talking about how they hooked up with you. You seem to be the common denominator, as they say in mathematics. Tell us about what this is and what we're talking about today that unites us all into this cause of getting that stack of cash in front of us.
First of all, I met Nolan and Jason both at an Atlanta seminar. So it's ironic that we're having an Atlanta seminar. So November 11th. But first of all, it's for just understanding that your name is a business out here in the public sector, out here in commerce. A lot of people don't understand this. We think our rights are given to us, and they're not. You have God-given rights that you're born with. So one thing is prosperity. I teach everybody that prosperity is your birthright. Everybody's here for a purpose, and that can go along with your covenant with God. And I feel like we get knocked off course of our covenants when we start signing contracts with outside entities. So we're in the age of information when it comes to a credit score, because if you have a great credit score, you can get a lot of great things out here. All a credit score is volunteered information to a public system. And a lot of people don't know that you can actually control this. I'm talking to all business owners, to top it all off, like everybody that I'm interacting with, everybody on this podcast is a business owner. I've helped establish some of these businesses. Chief Amir helped us establish our own government. Me and Jason have our own government. We Gifted Guardians is its own government. I hung out with Chief Amir, birds of a feather flock together. Hung out with him less than 90 days. He's a landowner now. I own land. That goes in part with something called the Abraham Covenant. Only the chosen people of God can actually own land in America. The government doesn't own land. They own leases and contracts. And a lot of people don't understand this. So I bring if you want to start somewhere, start with $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kilam. They teach about nationality. You have a nationality versus a color. People think they're a color. They think they're white or black. And that's one form of giving away your birthrights. You're no longer even a noun. You're an adjective. A color is an adjective that describes a noun. You think about it. So this is why the judge can hand down sentence. So everything is contracts. Anytime you contract or say you understand and enter into these things, you're going outside your covenant with your creator.
You know, there's a lot of people that went through COVID, and like myself and you know, we all went through COVID and lost our jobs, lost our businesses, lost our footing, had to start over again. Now their credit sucks. They're going through all kinds of different things. Some people are living in the streets in their cars. I mean, how can this work? And I'm going to have that answer to, you know, Don, you can go ahead and start, but everybody, I would love for you guys, if you have any ideas, to chime in, because there is a change of wealth that's going on right now. And I know that people need to jump on this. And sometimes people don't realize that when the downfall comes, that's when you should push harder. But Don, go ahead and start with the introduction on that.
Well, I just want to say, I don't want to take this out of context for anybody, but it's unfortunate for anybody that lost their job or lost anybody due to COVID. It was something that's real, something that impacted us deeply in America. I can only speak on what I went through. But on a different note, this is when I became a millionaire. So I want to say this is a global reset of wealth. Is really what's going on. And if you're an entrepreneur and been following the steps of Don Kilam, you actually got rich during COVID. So being a business person, or knowing that your name is a business, learning that the government's operating on full faith and credit. Everything is just information. So I just want to throw that out there. There's still incentives right now to open up a business. You know, there's still funding out there. When you understand the United States national debt, the people who fund the national debt is the people. You know, you run things as debit or credit. So the people are actually the credit. This is why you have to give up your information in order to get anything in America.
Mm, mm, mm. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Go ahead, Chief.
I would just say, you know, once again, it was definitely heartfelt for a lot of things. You know, it hit a lot of people, and it hit a lot of people differently. But like Don Kilam said, it was also an opportunity. And I would say this, there's no such thing as quick, get rich quick schemes. You have to really apply yourself. You know, there's not amount of books that you can read. Don Kilam got a whole plethora of books, right? There's the Bible. There's so many books out here. But if you don't apply what you're reading, then it will not work for you. You know, and words, they're just words on a page. You can read it all day. You can read it all day. This is not working for us because we're not applying. And without proper application along with the applied knowledge, then you won't have power. And so I think what's happening, and yes, there is a transfer of wealth, but I also look at that as a different perspective, whereas that it is a transfer of wealth, also wealth of knowledge, a wealth of application, a wealth of wisdom now that we now have to tap into and say, okay, I've been on this hamster wheel, spinning and generating currency and money for everyone else, but myself and my family is lacking. What is the problem? And so once we start to look within us, it always start within us first. Once we start to look inside of us and start to realize why things are not working, then we can start making the proper steps. And until we become honest with ourselves and see ourselves for who we really are outside of our mask, see ourselves for who we really are, then we can start applying and getting the results that we really need in our lives.
Jason, I want to ask you this question, and I know that, you know, you and Nolan are sitting back, you know, listening to this because you guys have already experienced this. What do you say to people who are skeptical and on the sidelines about this?
They can continue to stay on the sidelines and watch, or either they got to get in the game sooner or later. And it's business. I mean, everything really is business. So when are they going to start playing? Quit. When they going to get rid of everything personal? Don't take it personal no more. It's just business.
Yeah.
I
Nolan,
would say, go ahead, girl.
Let me ask you this one question. You know, people are watching and you saying about the gurus and everything, and everybody's got this, oh, you can do this, and oh yes. And it's like, you know, no, I don't like those because that doesn't teach me anything. It's like, okay, be passive and learn to love. I got you, but I want money. What is the first, what is, I mean, it's not the love of money, it's the need of money. Okay, it's the need. It's, yeah, I need to pay my bills, I need to have light, I have to have food, you know, the need, the
Yeah.
need.
Well,
What do you say to people?
it's several different things, but it first starts with you, as Chief Amir had said, it comes from within, right? If you read the Bible and it says, you know, money is the root of all evil, and that's been instilled in so many people because of the misquote of the Bible. And yes, the Bible does say that, but it also says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself. Money is a physical, tangible thing, like a bunch of paper. Okay, that's not evil. It's a tool. It's just most people are ignorant to how to wield the tools at their disposal. They're uneducated for a purpose, right? We go to school to learn how to work for someone else, right? We are a wage slave. Okay. It's on the 14th Amendment, it says, it doesn't say any slavery is abolished. It says that involuntary servitude is illegal. Okay. So voluntary servitude is perfectly okay. You go down and you put in an application to be somebody else's slave, and they give you this piece of paper saying, hey, here you go. Give me your personal information so I can take and fleece your trust on the back end. Okay. So all that birth certificate money that everybody's talking about, yeah, they're using it because you gave them permission to use it. Now, you can sit on the sidelines, but most people want the welfare check, or they want to win the lottery. Oh, well, you know, that birth certificate money, that's hundreds of billions of dollars, and I want that right now because my name is on it. It's not yours. They put that money in your trust to take care of you when you ask them to take care of you. If you need somebody to wipe your ass, they'll do it. You just have to pay them a lot of money to do it. You know what I mean?
I love you.
So you can sit on the sidelines, but you know, only 10% of the people actually act on the information that we're putting out, right? And even less of that percentage is going to be successful people. Some people will apply it and then they'll point the finger at Don Kilam or Chief Amir or me or Jason and say, that stuff don't work. Well, what did you do? Did you follow the steps step by step? Well, mostly. Well, then that's a no. It didn't work because you didn't do it right. I almost did. Well, then that's a no. I'm sorry. If you understand the difference between a yes and a no, that's what I'm looking for, not a, well, you see what happened was, no, that's a no then. Thank you very much. You didn't apply it, but you're pointing the finger at us and saying that we don't know what we're talking about.
You're right. You're right. Don,
Yeah.
we're back at you right now. And I wanted to like talk about, you know, what it is that people should be doing. And everybody, please chime in. Okay. Please don't let me call you out now. All right. So so go ahead, Don, what should be the first step that people should take and why? And then we can go through and find out what Chief did and Jason and Nolan did to make that first move.
All right. The first step is to make sure you're rocking with Yaya Diamond and Don Kilam. And then I believe it starts with understanding that your name is a business. You work for the name. When you're in the public and they say your name, it's a business. It's spelled in all capitalized letters. There's a reason why they call it Capitol Hill. That's all commercial. All right. All crimes are commercial. After that, the community we're in, they're big on learning about trust. Coming into the light again with Chief Amir, he focuses more on setting up governments with the unincorporated association and I like this route. We have a lot of less headache, a lot of less paperwork. Understanding what holding companies are, charging order protection states, and how to remain anonymous when protecting your assets. These are the things that we all touch. But the unincorporated association is the way to go. If you're going to have LLCs, go to the charging order protection states. There's 5 of them. Nevada's one, Delaware's one, Alaska's another one. I like to use Nevada because I'm always in Las Vegas. So I just want to throw that out there. That's what I believe.
Next. Somebody say something. I'm gonna call you out now. I tell you right now. Go ahead.
That's the first thing to do is make your name a business, some type of business, sole proprietor, LLC. That way you can start to utilize it, and then you can structure like your family around a trust to help protect your assets. Because down the road, if you don't learn how to do it, then you're gonna pay somebody 30% to do it for you down the road. So there's some benefits to structuring that. And I mean, your family is your business, so you should want to protect those assets to be able to hand them down to your kids. And I've got 3 sons, and that's what got me started on it. I know that, of course, after structuring your family business, there's a lot of different avenues that you can go with LLCs and holding companies and unincorporated associations. But some people jump right into that, and they have no idea which way to go whenever they should start, like the Bible says, in the beginning. Make your name a business.
And just to add to that, I was able to remain anonymous with an unincorporated association with Jason setting it up. I got access to it, got a card and everything, but I'm still able to remain anonymous. So just want to throw that out there.
I would say the same thing. Make your name a business. That's the first step. With me, I started to look at how the governments were set up. I realized that there's 2 governments that operates in the United States. There's a United States government, and then there's a tribal government, indigenous tribal government. And so if you don't belong to either one of those 2, then either you're going to be a citizen of the United States, 14th Amendment slave, or you're going to be free. And so I had to start looking at that. How did America get started? Because if America is in a corporation, how did they get started? They found land. They got land. They declared their independence. They had a constitution that shows how their corporation or their body politic is going to be ran. It's the same thing as with us. Your land, Abrahamic covenant of salvation. It deals with land real estate, being able to bury your dead, being able to, live free. And so once you find a piece of land, and I would just recommend 5 acres or more, because with 5 acres, you can have a hamlet, all right, which is a small unincorporated township that you could create that's owned self-governed, okay, when you own your land. Once you have your land, you declare your independence. You write a constitution about how, and like I said, it's deeper than this, but I'm just giving a little small information. Write a constitution, about how your body is going to be structured. And to be honest, it's funny, right? Because we always say, can nobody do church like Black people, right? And so, but people got to understand how the church is governed. It's the same thing, separation of church and state, right? The church has a what? It has a bylaws or a constitution. It shows how that body is to operate. And guess what? The judges or nobody has no jurisdiction in that. So if your family is structured that way, how else would you think you would get free, right? You establish your own jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means power, or authority over that people or individual. So once you establish your own jurisdiction and you show, hey, this is how we're going to operate, and you have a group of members to come in, 12 or more, right? Or 10, I would say 10 or more, then you can continue to operate and you can get e-memberships. You can have people on the land. You can have e-memberships or e-residencies, right? People that's on the land and, hey, they're a part of this body politic, and everybody come in, and that's how you establish your membership.
Wow.
I would say,
Nolan.
yeah, I would say that learn accounting, learn bookkeeping, right? Yeah, start your own business. Absolutely. I'm not taking away from anything that these gentlemen have said, but you have to put the knowledge in your head. If you want to be a millionaire, where are you at right now? How far in debt are you? Are you wearing your bank account with some Gucci, with some $40,000 watch, right? Where's your money at? Right? Where's your bank account? What does it say? Does it say minus 500,000? But you're driving a Benz with some rims on it, right? Where's your money at? How close are you to that million? Where are you? Are you keeping track of how much money do I need to start a business? How much do I require to, and what is my niche? What is my focus going to be on, and what is that business going to be about? It's about doing some soul searching. Because when God puts you on this planet, whoever you want to call God, your passion is where your mission is. Because it's fun for you. You think God would put you on a planet just to, throw you to the meat grinder of the thing that we call, they, them, government, whatever? Or is it that you're there on the planet to have fun, right? To enjoy the show, right? To chase your dreams. Those are the things that you need to put in and do for business, right? That's what you need to figure out. And yes, and we have to do all this stuff too to fit into the governmental structure. But if you don't know where you're going, you're just treading water. You're not swimming to any island, right? You're just sitting in an ocean of what the hell is all this crap in the maritime jurisdiction environment, right?
Yes, definitely. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Anybody can chime in on this. It's easy to say, okay, start a company, do this, make your name a business, get the LLC, get a trust. But what about, like I said in the beginning, all of those people that lost their money, lost their business, lost everything? Where should they begin? It's a journey, and I know that it's a journey, and sometimes the journey can be really huge because they're not taking it in little tiny pieces. They're looking at the entire thing. And of course, that's what we're here to do. We're here to show you different pieces of a big, corporation or a big thing that you need to be doing. But again, how can they begin?
I would say, anybody booked the flight before, right? They ask 3 questions. And you can apply those same 3 questions to your life. Where are you going? Right? Or where are you at right now? Where are you going? And how fast you want to get there? So we have to look at where we at currently. And that has to really take some soul searching. There has to really take some accountability. Because a lot of things that happened during COVID, to be honest, a lot of things were shaken. But that's because maybe the foundation wasn't built right. Or maybe your house wasn't built right. Maybe we cut corners. Maybe we defrauded people. Maybe we didn't practice good business practices. Whatever the case may be, right? Where are we at now? Where we want to go, right? What do we see ourselves as? How do we see ourselves? You have to visualize. If you can't vision yourself and where you're trying to go, then you're not going to get there. Visualize your family. Visualize all that. How do you want your life to look? We were taught when we were young, what do you want to be when you grow up? Not how do you want to live? See, those are 2 different things. So we start from the end and then we work our way back. See, I'm a right to left reader. I'm not a left to right reader. Okay. I'm a right to left. So I think differently. So I want to start from the end and then I want to work my way. So where are you at now? Where you want to go? And how fast you want to get there. Now, how fast you want to get there dictates the vehicle, the avenue. What is your vehicle that you're going to use to get to your said destination? If I'm in Vegas now. If I'm trying to go to New York and I need to get there tomorrow, maybe walking or catching the bus is not the best play for me. That's not the good vehicle. There are great vehicles, but it's not effective. Maybe I need to fly. So how your vehicle is going to show you how you're going to get to your said destination. Once again, it's not a quick get rich scheme. It's not something fast. You have to really plan this out. That's why estate planning is very, very important. You have to plan this out. You have to see yourself. Without vision, we know the scripture says, without vision, people perish. Without vision, you don't have direction. If you don't have direction, you ain't got purpose. So we have to see ourselves first. Then once we see ourselves, then now we can move into that said direction on our way to our purpose.
Wow. Wow, you're so right. You're so right. You know, to get from Florida to New York is not a fast thing if you're gonna walk. It's gonna take you a couple of weeks, you know. You might need to take a plane, even a train. You might want to drive. I mean, but you know, get there as fast as you can. So this is something that they're gonna have to really take it here to, and then begin their journey by maybe saving up and doing things that they need to do instead of going out and buying that Starbucks. Maybe
I would
put
too.
that away.
Invest in yourself. That's the problem. If you don't invest in yourself, no one else will invest in you. If I get into a car that's dirty, I'm not going to have the same respect and honor as a car that I get in that's clean. You see what I'm saying? If you don't invest in yourself, then you can't expect anyone else to invest in you. You can't expect someone like Jason or Nolan or Don to come in and say, hey, I want to invest in your business, but you don't have your books together. You don't have nothing. You don't have an idea. You don't have anything together, right? So yes, the idea is here. But if you don't invest in yourself, this is why with me and with Don, I watched how Don handle people, right? And it was completely like, wow, like I love this guy, like the way he come off, you know? Because for me, I'm a leader, so it didn't bother me. But a lot of people waste time. And he said, look, if you want this, drop a donation. I ain't got time to talk to you, you know, which is true. You know what I mean? And so what I did was, because I wanted to learn more, I put my money where my mouth was at. And I invested. And that's the thing. People don't want to invest. And because you don't invest, you can easily walk away. You know, if I got investment into something, I'm not going to walk away. It's not going to walk away easy. I'm not going to walk away. I'm gonna put everything into it. A lot of times people say, I'm gonna try. I say, don't try. That's like, y'all, if I say, if I come to you and I'll be like, hey, y'all, let me borrow $100. You're like, okay, chief, when you gonna give it back? Well, I'm gonna try to give it back next week. You're gonna be like, try. But I like commitment. Are you committed to give it back? That means that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to give you that $100 back. And so we have to stop trying, and we have to be committed to what we say we want, or what we say that we see, or what we say. Because there's nobody, the only enemy, to be honest, is not this person, that person, the government, this. The only enemy is the person that you look at every day when you're in the mirror. That's it. The only enemy is yourself. And if you learn how to get out of your own way, then you can achieve the things that you need to achieve. You cannot heal in the same environment that hurts you. You have to get out that environment. And that's a mindset. You go ahead.
You heard me with the word try, huh? What happens to the people that come to church? They say, I'm gonna try to make it on Sunday. You know, are you sitting down right now?
Yeah.
You ever tried to sit down? You're either gonna sit down or you're not.
Right.
That's why I try out the vocabulary. I change it with desire. I like the word committed though too.
Yeah, definitely. You know, did everyone here read one of Don Kilam's books?
I see one sitting in Nolan. Nolan got the status correction in the back too. I peeped.
Yep. Yeah, I got your Treasury Direct right there. I got the Start Talking, Start Traveling right here.
Everybody got books. I got some books too. So
I know that yeah, Jason's got some, Chief's got some.
I wrote a book with Chief Amir. We built this city.
Yep.
I'm about to pull it out right now.
Me and Chief Amir got a book together.
So I want to go up to Nolan. Nolan, I mean, in the book that you've read so far, what was the one thing that stood out for you?
There's a lot of paperwork involved, and it's time consuming. But if I want a car, right, and let's say I want $100,000 truck or maybe a Benz, right, I can get that. It's going to take a bit of paperwork, but how much is that $100,000 Benz worth to me? This is the essence of everything that we talk about and everything that we do here. There's a lot of paperwork involved. Okay, how much of your time, because that's the most important, that's the most expensive thing to everyone, is their time. You can't get back your time. Now I know that everybody playing on the Xbox or PlayStation or looking at TikTok for 5 minutes and then it turns into 5 hours, like, oh shit, where'd that time go? Right. But when you invest in yourself to actually have a goal to get a prize like a car or a house or a piece of land, it takes paperwork. It takes time for you to invest in yourself, to educate yourself. Not like, you know, we're brainwashed, programmed hypnotically to hate school, which means to hate learning. But when we go to school, some people enjoy it, but most people hate it. And when they go out to try to learn something from like Don Kilam or from us, they don't want to do that because, well, that's more learning. That's like going right back to school. And I freaking hated school. You know, I was, or for me, I was on a class of 52 people. I graduated 52 out of 50 because 2 girls dropped out and I was the last motherfucker in the class. And these 2 girls that dropped out had a better GPA than I had. Okay. So it's not about how it is about how you're learning, not what you're learning. Because in public school, even in university, you're in training to be that slave. So when you're in school, what, you know, the teachers keep saying, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Here's a list of idiots that you could be. Right? You could be picking up trash on the side of the road. Right? They give you orange jumpsuits for that, for some, right? Work release, right? And then we got people that are doctors, people that are lawyers that are imprisoned by their own requirements to be that doctor. Well, I have to have some sort of BMW or Mercedes, but I just got out of school, which, you know, is going to cost me freaking $5 million to pay off that freaking debt. But I am a doctor, so I got to have some sort of BMW or Mercedes that I'm never going to drive because I'm always going to be in the damn hospital freaking working, trying to work off that debt. So I would say definitely do the work on yourself. If you're not committed to yourself, if you're not taking the time to commit to yourself, I can't help you, right? I'm a master hypnosis practitioner, so I can help people do certain things, but I cannot make you stop smoking, right? You have to have the desire to quit, right? Because otherwise it's just another excuse for you to tell your spouse that, well, even that hypnosis crap don't work. I tried it, and no, you just don't want to quit, and you want another thing to stop your spouse from telling you, well, you need to quit, you need to quit, you need to quit. Well, I've tried everything, sweetie, and it don't work. I'm just, you know, I'm not a quitter. Really? No, you just don't want to quit, and that's who you are, right? So you have to make the decision for yourself. You have to decide, which means to cut off from any other avenue and just move on one path. Okay, so that's what you have to do.
Wow. Jason?
Yes.
Same question. What did you find that the book that you read stood out to you the most?
You know, there's a lot of tax credits and incentives out there for businesses in those books. You know, there's tax incentives for electric vehicles. There's tax incentives for I do heating and air, so there's tax incentives for heating and air equipment that's high efficiency. So there's a lot of things in those books that people just don't realize that's available to them, because, you know, the best place to hide anything to the American people is write it in a book. A lot of times they'll never find it. Turn the TV off sometimes and you know, go read. And you'd be surprised. I mean, and once you get into some of this information, I mean, it's almost addictive. It's like every chance you get, you want to read something else, and you'd be surprised at what you'll learn and the things that you'll see actually how everything operates. And then you may stop blaming everybody else and start looking at yourself a little bit more that, hey, I don't have my stuff in order, so maybe I'm doing it wrong. And we've all been in those situations where I'm sure everybody here has been in some situation in their past where they've been broke, and we've made it out of it. So uh, we could have continued to make excuses, but we had to step up at some point and get a different job. Each one of those things can be stepping stones to get you where you want to go, but you got to be willing to walk it, and or you can just stay sitting down and nothing's ever going to change. You can keep blaming everybody else, but you have to start it.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Nolan. Chief Amir.
Yes.
Same question. I know you guys wrote a book together, though. That might be the one, huh? You got the blur on. It doesn't do with blur.
Yeah, I got the blur.
And you got to talk while you showing
it. We built this city, right? This will show you how to establish governments, your jurisdiction, establish everything. Understanding your boundaries, understanding what is boundaries, what is corporations, what it'll tell you a lot of things. Once again, it's just words on the paper if you don't apply it. Right? we know people. There's people out here. There's the guy up here in Nevada, right outside of Reno, that has his own country on his 11 acres of land, and he's recognized as his own country in Nevada. Right? I'm telling you, this stuff works, but people are clueless because once again, if it's not coming through the airwaves, whatever how it is, then they think that, it's something that's just lies. But we know this stuff works because we live it. We don't just teach you something that we don't live. We're not hypocrites. We live the things. We have practical application of the knowledge that we share. And so without that, there's nothing. That's why I tell people you can listen to a lot of people, but what is the fruit of that tree? Do that tree bear fruit? Fruit, you go into a grocery store, it's in the produce section, right? What are you producing to show your fruit, your evidence of what it is that you're saying? Because a lot of people can talk. And so what we built this city by Don Kilam and Chief Amir, this is one of the most has in your library, especially if you want to look at, sovereignty, if you want to look at, just being free. We're not talking about being an enemy because we're not enemies. We're not combatants of the government at all. We're at peace, right? And so we want to just teach you, if you want to live free and harmonious in your lives, we built this city, will show you step by step. If you follow the instructions, if you apply the knowledge, it will work, right? And if a door closed, you got to keep knocking, all right? Or if that's not the door, go to another one. Don't stop. If diligence. If I say right now for all of us, if we all was in the same room and I say, hey, there's $1 billion right in front of us, and we're all digging, would you stop and go pee? Would you? No, you will pee on yourself and you will continue to dig. That's diligence. That's diligence, okay? You got to be diligently seeking, right? Diligently knocking. You don't stop. If this is something that you say you want, you got to eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. You got to wake up with it. You got to work through the day with it. You got to go to sleep with it on your mind. You start all over again. Nothing is just going to happen because you have an idea. Nothing is going to happen even if you just got money, because there's a lot of people with money with no vision. All right? What is your desire? What is your evidence? If this is what you want, we built this city. We'll help you.
Don.
So I'm about to go buy that book. Not wrote
I know, right? But what was that one book that you wrote in the beginning that really changed you and made you go all the way? I mean, I know that maybe the first book was, kind of cool and you got it but maybe the second book was like, wait a minute.
$1 Million Worth of Game was the book that put me on. That's the book, the event. I made the book for an event. Most of my books I make for my courses. So if you follow me, that's how you know. But $1 Million Worth of Game was, I did this in Tampa. I want to say 2019, 2020. I don't know. I did it in Tampa, the first one, and then that's the first one I attracted celebrities. I had some people come. They said, "Man, I became a millionaire off your work." So I'm like, "Hold up, I'm not even there yet." You know, they're like, "I'm flying in. I'm your testimonial." You know, he had a drop shipping business, a real estate agent. Like, I really, this showed me, because there was days where I just didn't. I want to give up on life. We all have those days. So I've been going hard ever since for the people, really. And then who wants this and who doesn't? Like, I have a zero tolerance for bullshit, on the fence, all of that. You either with me or against me. You know, time is money.
And definitely, definitely. I appreciate each and every last one of you being on the show today, because you guys are the epitome of moving forward. I don't like TV. I don't. I mean, Don knows. I mean, if you see my social media, you see my interviews, you see me. I'm working. I'm working. Okay. I ain't got time to be answering the phone. If you ain't got nothing to say, please don't call me. Okay. Because
I got a lot to say, yeah.
You got a lot to say? Okay, good. Because, if it's just, well, today I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I have to go.
Yeah, these four in front of you today, we're not shallow talk. We're not.
Yeah,
How's the weather? Did you
no.
see the sun was out today? Yeah, I saw that. What you got for me? Well, yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
we got deep conversations here.
Yes, we do. We don't. I mean, like you said before, I'm not really sure who said this, but time is something that you can't get back.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And that's what I spend. I don't spend money. I spend time.
Yep.
So if I'm going to spend time doing something with you, it has to be worth my time.
That's it.
My time is invaluable. It's precious. It's something that's way more than anything that I could ever give. And so if you command it, what do you got?
Well, you see, Don Kilam loves spending time with Yaya Diamond.
I know. And I appreciate it, because, not to knock it. I started this show because I wanted to learn things. And I knew that reaching out to other people who knew things and then teaching me, I'm learning. So this is really good for me as well. I think that people are, like you said, stuck on that hamster wheel. If it doesn't come by the media, if it doesn't come by TV, if it doesn't come by TikTok or something to that effect, then they don't believe that it's valuable, or that it is operational, I would say. People need to understand that books were the way that we learned how to add. When you were a little kid, you had the book with the line and then the dotted line and the lines, and you learned from your mom and your dad how to do your ABCs before you even went to kindergarten, at least for me. So these things are elementary. Books are the way that we should be learning, because we can make notes. We can go back and read it. Listening to a book is great. I find that having it in my hand is better.
It absolutely is. I have a couple of books on one of them's called Stolen Focus, and it goes into detail about learning from like if you're reading it on the computer screen, you're not focused on it. If you're listening to it in an audiobook, it's fine if you're like in the car to catch up on some stuff, but it's more of a secondary thing. Because when you have a book and you read through it, that's not it. You need to go back and read it again. Right? I read the Bible 3 times cover to cover. Right? There's still information in there that I need. But as you develop yourself from inside, you're going to find that the same sentence means something different to you as you progress on your spiritual path. Right? And it's a book that does that. It's not an audio book. It's not going to be read on the computer screen. And it sure as hell isn't going to be on YouTube or TikTok. Right?
Hello.
So,
unless Don Kilam's channel.
That's right. I went to the store, and my daughter, hustle department. My daughter knows I love things that mean something. So when I'm walking in the store or I'm walking by someone, I want them to see what I mean, or who I am. It has to say something. It does. It has to say something meaningful to me. And I got this cup, but it says, keep making progress.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. Let me see if I can get that to go. You see that?
Yeah.
And every time I drink I remember and I look at it, keep making progress. You know, we stay idle so long that we think that idle is progress.
Mm-hmm.
When
if you
it's
think if you think
not.
I'm sorry, but if you think about this life as like you're the hero in your own video game. Okay. We're not here to sit on the couch eating Cheetos, right? You're here for those boss fights. You're here for those challenges, right? That's what makes a lot of people's life worth living is the challenges, right? Because it's the satisfaction after the fact. It's the challenge that you went through to endure to get to that level, right? Because we don't like necessarily, I mean, yeah, people will do it, the sit on your butt and eat your Cheetos, right? Pick them out of the couch cushions and stuff like that in your holy couch, right? I didn't know that was there. Hell, I don't even have to go to the fridge for a snack now. That's freaking left from last week. Yum and yum. Okay. So you gotta challenge yourself. You gotta get out there. You gotta do it. You cannot be an Olympic athlete sitting on the couch eating your damn Cheetos. You cannot be a well, I guess you could be an armchair quarterback yelling at the coach because you know better because you watch so many football games, but you can't play football to save your life, right? You can't catch a paper ball wadded up and thrown at you. You think you're going to catch a damn football weighing 350 pounds of blubber? You ain't going to catch nothing except maybe a cold or another shoe in the face after somebody runs over you with the football. What happened? So you got to get out there, right? Is that the man in the arena quote, right? People will always criticize from the sidelines. But if you're the one standing in the arena, they may talk about you, but they're not going to join you.
Wow. Wow.
I will say one thing, I
Go ahead, Chief.
from the time that you was born to the time that you expire, right? You have that dash, and that dash is just showing you how much did you learn of yourself? Every day we're learning more and more and more about ourselves. How much are we investing in ourselves? How much are we learning? And so I look at things as this. Sometimes certain things and certain people we just have to die to. We have to die to it. And what do I mean by that? My father no longer here. Nothing that I do is going to affect him because he's no longer here in the physical. And so when we die to things, they no longer have anything, nothing that we do affects them, nothing that they do affects us. So we have to move forward. And a lot of times we have to have tunnel vision. We have to discover and rediscover who we are every day. Every day we wake up with a choice, every day. And if we don't take this opportunity to discover who we are, because remember, life is what this transaction right here is showing me more about me, more than anything. And so this is the stuff that we have to look at. We have to look at discovering ourselves. We have to look at that dash. What did we do in this life to make an impact on the next?
Definitely. And I'll tell you, you guys are amazing. I mean, we could be here all night. We can't be here all night. I think
Right.
it's like, so literally speaking, guys, we have to get up off the couch. Stop eating the Cheetos
I mean, Cheeto.
that you left in the couch like last week. You gotta do that. You gotta
Oh
read the
no.
books. You gotta make them count. You can't be, can't be idle. And you definitely have to start. You have to start. So going round robin here, I don't know who's going to start first, but where can people reach you and what is your profession? And that way we get everybody in on it because, it takes a village, like they said, to raise a child, but it takes a village to teach common sense. And I
Yes.
think that you were the village and common sense is something that's unfamiliar to most.
I'll start it off though, but we do have an event November 11th in Atlanta, and then we plan on having another event that's going to be huge in Orlando. But you're invited to both of them, y'all. So if you want to come, I'll take care of everything, expenses, whatever you need. We would love to have you there. We're rocking with Yaya Diamond. But you can So it was giftedguardians.org. They shut us down. So it's gifted-guardians.org now. That's the new website. Sign up for the event. It's going to be downtown Atlanta. It's called the Atlanta Theater for everybody that knows about Atlanta. But you can go to gifted-guardians.org. You can find Don Kilam on Instagram at DON_KILAM.
Awesome. Chief, where can people find you?
You can find me at gifted-guardians.org as well. But also you can hit me up and follow me on IG at Chief Amir, AMIR ZAHIR. Chief Amir Zahir.
Jason.
You can find me on the Gifted Guardian site through Don, or just search my name. I'm very popular. It's just everybody else don't know it yet.
I hear that, I hear that, Jason. Go.
Google me. Google me.
Google me. Yep. Nolan.
Yeah,
I hope you know what? I hope that Nolan didn't do no hypnotizing stuff on us, because then we just gonna all go berserk after this.
Girl, you the only one hypnotizing me.
Oh,
I'm about to go eat some Cheetos.
You are. The fire ones. Gotta have that spicy. That's what I do. Hey girl, I'm spicy. I got the fuel. Got my hot sauce. So through the gifted-guardians.org, you can find me there, and with Don Kilam and Jason and Chief Zahir, Amir Zahir. All of us are there. Please look us up over there and reach out, and we'll see where you're at and how we can get you to the starting line, because a lot of people listening to all these gurus are actually reversing past, they're not even at the starting line yet. There's much stuff that needs to be reversed and undone before we can start on your journey, right? There's a lot of unlearning to do. And of course, with hypnosis, it is always about honor. It's always about respect. So I only hypnotize those who want to be, because it works better that way.
It does, actually. I don't want to be barking or anything like that.
No.
He can't do it through the TV. He has to do it in person, because last time after I met him, I walked around quacking like a chicken for a couple of days. I don't know what that was about.
Goodness. Oh, goodness. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, guys. And November 11th, we're going to have the information in the description box wherever you may be watching today, so that you can probably be a part of this. I say don't miss out. When the opportunity comes like this, you just don't want to pass it up. It's going to be one of those things you'll be like, daggone it, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. And you know what? Those things, they shouldn't even be in your vocabulary. They should be, look, I'm going to go ahead and check this out and see if it'll work for me. And usually it will, because this is all in your favor. I mean, if you have money sitting out there waiting for you to grab it, I mean, literally, you're waiting. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and put that information again in the description box below. I think I'm going out to November 11th event in Atlanta, but I have to check a few things to make sure that I can go, because, I got to sing, but hey, Don Kilam got to teach you money. So I don't know. I'm kind of perplexed here.
But it's all good. We'll put you on stage to sing too. Whatever you want to do.
Right. I will survive. Especially with these guys. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys. Bye.
Appreciate it.